We're going to hear a U.S. Lakeside cylinder. Uncle Josh Keeps House, vaudeville specialty by Mr. Cal Stewart. 4-minute record number 1348. It's of a composition inside. It's like wax and tar type interior, and the outside is celluloid. A celluloid bonded sheet. I'm sure that the celluloid bonded sheet would have been steam pressed first in the mold. A mold has the song groove already in it, in the outside on a copper sleeve that's inside the mold, and steam is introduced, and then air pressure of about 100 pounds, and they would press the song into the celluloid. And then later on, this composition material would have been put in there, and in the mold they would have had a plate with the writing on it. So we're going to hear this U.S. 4-minute Lakeside cylinder of Uncle Josh's Keepers at Home.
While long last fall, Sarah Ann Martin was took down sick with a typhoid fever, and Cindy Lawson had to take care on her, she being a widow woman, and Cindy got Nancy to go along with her and left Cindy's boy with me to take care on. Nancy said, "Now, Joshua, the bread's all sopped to rise. Don't let the soft soap boil over. Churning's ready to do. Wouldn't wonder if a speckled hen didn't hatch today, and you watch out and don't let the cat get the chickens, and maybe the bees will swarm, and watch the smokehouse and don't let it catch fire, and don't let Cindy's boy fall in the well or nothing." Well, I had a few things to do besides taking care of Cindy's boy, and that boy could ask more darn fool questions. He said to me, "Uncle Josh, can the Lord do anything?" I told him I calculated as how the Lord could. He said, "Wow, can he make two hills without a holler between them?" Well, I put on one of Nancy's aprons and started to doing the housekeeping. I hadn't took more than a dozen steps when my feet got tangled up in that apron. I fell down and my head hit the stove leg and knocked down the stovepipe, and the soot went all over the bread. And that boy said, "Uncle Joyce, does the Lord know everything?" I told him I calculated as how the Lord did. He said, "Well, the Lord knows you swore, don't he?" Well, I went to doing the churning. I churned quite a spell, and I looked in to see if the butter was coming. My specs fell in the churn, and churn dasher busted them, and while I was trying to fish them out, my tobacco fell in the churn and spiled all the cream, and I wouldn't have cheered, only I didn't have any more tobacco in the house, and just then I heard that boy say, "Uncle Joyce, there's a bug in it, ain't there?" Well, I looked around, and darned if he didn't have my watch open, poking in it with a hairpin. Well, I took it away from him, and he commenced to bellering, and I had to give him some bread and butter with apple sass on it to keep him still, and just then the soft soap boiled over, and while I was trying to sod it off of the stove, it upsopped and run all over the kitchen floor, and a lot of it run through a hole in my boot, and I had to go out and stick my foot in the rainwater barrel, and just then I heard that boy a-hollering. When I got in, I'll be darned if he didn't have his finger caught in the mousetrap. Well, I got it out and tied a rag around it. He said, "Uncle Joyce, it's a leaking, ain't it?" Well, just then I heard a noise out in the yard, and I went out, and I'll be darned if the speckled hen hadn't hatched, and Cat was trying to get the chickens. Well, I turned about 4 Somersets and sat down in Nancy's favorite flower bed, and I heard that boy say, "Uncle Joyce, the bees are biting me," and I looked around, darned if the bees hadn't swarmed, settled all over him, and just then the smokehouse caught fire, and while I was carrying water trying to put it out, that darn boy fell in the wash tub. Neighbors all commenced running, fire bells are ringing. When I come to, Nancy had just got home, and she said, "Women women can't leave home a minute. Men are just such helpless critters.